What's up, Dobsters, Davinites, Da Marleys? Back here again for week 6 of the NFL season. Start with Dynasty Leagues, the challenge. I'm 3-2, and then I'm up 125.55 to 115.55. I won. I got Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Roma Dunze, and a linebacker, and he has DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore. I had JSN, who scored 26.20 points this week, and Dallas Goddard, who scored 21.50 points this week. And I was facing the dude, and he had Kamani Vidal, who had 21.30 points.
And that luck.
Yeah. I'm happy with this league. My efficiency is really high, 86%, which is not normal for me. And champions, I'll get to that eventually, but I think it's only like 77% or something like that. So, playing the right people at the right time. So that's always good. I do have pretty good depth in both leagues, to tell you the truth. But yeah, it was a good week. And then I don't think the guy I played had a very good team anyway. So I'll take my wins.
In the challenge, I'm gonna lose. I'm losing right now, 77 to 115. Yeah, opposing teams have Jaden Daniels, and I think I just have Keon Coleman and Cole Kmet. But it was just an unfortunate week. I had Mbuka and Puka Nakua go down with injuries. So they both combined only had 7.20 points, which very lackluster for them since they both average around like 20. Everybody else, I guess I could have started Jackson Dart over Justin Herbert, but wouldn't have made any difference. It was only 3 points more. But everybody else, it seemed like I made the right moves. Just had a couple injuries this week. So, not looking good.
For champions, I'm 2-3, and I'm about to be 2-4, down 141.65 to 111.60. I have a defensive back, and he has a kicker. I had Baker Mayfield, who had 22.20 points, and Josh Jacobs, who had 29.50 points. I did mess up on one, but it was more of like just throwing a dart. So I put in Jameer DK because I noticed that he's getting a lot of snaps for Tennessee. Just waiting for him to pop off because of his speed. Started him over Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp only scored 11 points, so it wasn't that big of a deal. The dude that I was playing did have Devon Achane, who had 29 points, Jonathan Taylor, who had 21.70 points, and Patrick Mahomes, who had 34.05 points. And then I had Justin Jefferson on a bye, and Brock Bowers was injured, so didn't expect to win this week, especially with his running backs and his quarterback going off for large numbers.
And then in that league is, the champions, right?
Champion.
In champions, this is the league I wouldn't say tanking. I'm not trying to lose, but my team's bad. But anyways, I'm losing 114 to 101. He has one person, I have no one, so I lost. I guess my only 3 people that did really well was Bryce Young. He had almost 21 points. And then I also had 2 weeks in a row, I started Keyshawn Boutte. He's gotten over 20 points both games. And then Harold Fannin had a decent game last week. He got me almost 12 points. Well, yeah, it's just, just kind of chugging along for those first rounders I got next year. So just waiting. Next 2 years, actually.
How are the other teams doing that you have the picks of, if you know?
Oh, just off the top of the dome. Well, I have mine, so that's positive. Yeah. And the other guy, I believe, was... Let me just go through these teams. I think I have Dogs on me. He's 1-4 as well, but he's putting up more points. He has 639 points because ours is projected points. It doesn't go fully by the record.
Yeah, potential points.
Yeah.
Just to avoid tanking and whatnot.
Yeah.
Every league should be set up like that in some form.
So I'd assume if it ended today, I would have pick 1 and 5, just because we're still on the cusp of whatever PPR jersey needs to do. Because for some reason, the first 2 weeks he didn't score any points, 0, and he set a roster. So
I'll have to talk to our wonderful commissioner about that, see what he says.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in the offseason.
Yeah,
that's all season problems.
So he is 1-4 as well. He only has 366 points to my 457. But like I said, 2 weeks he had 0 points registered, which It shouldn't happen.
And then finally, Evans League. I'm 2-3. I'm up 105.65 to 89. I have Rome Odunze, Kyle Pitts, and the IDP left, and I don't think he has anybody left. Yeah, he doesn't have anybody left, but he also got screwed, I guess. He didn't have a quarterback to start. Kyler Murray was hurt. So was Lamar Jackson. He didn't have a backup. To be fair, I think I have like 4 quarterbacks. I mean, he could have traded. Yeah, I would have. I would have like traded. I don't know, Stafford for like a third or something, just to give him like an extra boost. Anyway, he didn't try, so I don't care. That's his fault. I had JSN, who had 46.70 points, and Patrick Mahomes, who had 38.55 points. The dude had Trey McBride for 28.20 points. And the only one that I messed up was I should have put Kamani Vidal in over Charbonnet, which I was actually thinking about doing, but I was like, maybe they don't give him the ball as much. And to be fair, he only had like 34 snaps, so that wasn't too much. He just had the hot hand.
Yeah, and then Evans Lee got lost as well. I lost 122 with a 166.
Scored a lot of points.
Yeah. So I started Jordan Love. He got me 23. Kyron Williams got me 17. Brian Thomas Jr., best game of the year so far, got me 25. Travis Kelce got me 22.80. And then I did start a couple people that were wrong. One of my other linebackers, they actually scored, I think it was 27. I'm sorry, 19.25. Still more than my other one. And the only other guy I probably should have started, I mean, it's not like he has had a tremendous year so far, but Josh Downs had 17.20.
It's about time.
Yeah, he finally scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
But the team I went against, he had Bo Nix, got 18 points. Saquon was a little bit on the lower end, but he had Derrick Henry, got him 22. DK Metcalf got him over 20. The biggest one was George Pickens, got him 41.
Second week in a row.
Yeah.
George Pickens killed him.
And Rashad White got 19, and his defense player got 18. But, yeah, weirdly, one league I'm in, it's one I used to work at a restaurant, and I didn't know I was in the league. I never responded to them. I didn't even draft my team. They just kind of did auto draft for me, and then I just took over. And the team's not that good, honestly, but somehow I am 4-1, and I scored a lot of points this week. I'll read out my quick starting lineup.
Mhm.
So I have Jalen Hurts, which I know he's okay. I personally don't like him just because I like quarterbacks that throw the ball. Helps, his rushing helps, but it's the only thing that's saving him. Devon A-Chain, he's had 2 straight really big games, so that's kind of helped me out.
He's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I had Javonte Williams, which he's been a beast all year, but this week he had his worst game of the year.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua injured. Devontae Smith, I think he's only had like 1 good game this year, which was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Last 2 weeks, actually. It was like 8 for 90 and 6 for 114, something like that.
And then I Trey McBride. He's been one of my more consistent pieces for sure. And then it's just a randomness of receivers and running backs. I have Khalil Shakir, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Warren, Jacoby Myers, Quentin Johnston, Kenneth Gainwell. And most of these people I just picked up in the free agency. I still have Jalen Reed on IR, but there's no IR spots in this league. So it's kind of like, well, yeah. So I guess that's the league I'm kind of going full force in right now. Trying to win some money.
Hell yeah. All right, so some surprising or interesting snap counts this week. For Arizona, Amari DeMarcado continues to never get the ball or on the field anymore. 3 snaps for 4%. I guess he's just done. So if you have him in Dynasty, he's worth a drop, honestly. Like, I actually dropped him before the season, but I didn't. I wanted to hang on to him, and then now I'm just like, I made the right decision, I guess.
Michael Carter had most of those snaps, right?
And Bam Knight signed like a week ago, and then they're like, here, have the ball. You can start too.
Trey Benson hurt too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then Cincinnati, Mike Gesicki had 2 snaps for 3%, and Noah Fant had 32 snaps for 49%. They flip-flopped. Last week it was pretty much the same. Noah Fant with like 2 plays or 2 snaps and 3%, and Mike Gesicki with 32 snaps for 49%. So I guess they're just trying to figure out what tight end works, I guess, best for Flacco now. Cleveland, Jerome Ford and Judkins both had 33 snaps for 44%, so they didn't play Judkins as much as I thought they would, and I feel like Pittsburgh was a good team to run it on, so not sure what Cleveland's doing. Maybe they're just tanking on purpose. It wouldn't be the first time.
No, I'm not a real big fan of either of their quarterbacks, but it's crazy that there's already people talking about how they should just bench Dylan Gabriel after he had like a pretty okay first career start.
I would give him, yeah.
And like, obviously he didn't do too well this week, but like, I mean, what are they going to do? Like, if they're just going to bench him and have Shador come in, and then if he has one bad game, are they just going to sign someone else and bench Shador for that guy? Like, let some of these people take a little time. Give Dylan Gabriel at least like 4 or 5 weeks. If there's no improvement, just bench him. But.
And then Harold Fannin had 66 snaps for 88%, while Njoku had 36 snaps for 44%. I think this is the first week that Harold Fannin has outsnapped Njoku, and this is a large number, actually. So Harold Fannin might be taking over that one. They do run a lot of 2 tight end sets, though, so it's not that big of a deal, but just something to note. Denver, Pat Bryant's probably finally getting snaps, 35 snaps at 58%. Good to see him get on the field. He was one of my players to watch out for because he's good at finding that zone. He knows where to go and where to stay when he's running his routes. So hopefully they find him soon.
Big body, too.
He is a big body. Houston, they had 5 receivers with over 20 snaps. So they're not like, quote-unquote, married to whatever receivers that they have. Everybody's playing fair share amount. Of course, Nico Collins is outsnapping everybody, but other than that, you got the other 4 that are just fighting for that second or third spot. New England, this is terrible. I don't know what New England's doing. Ramondre Stevenson had 46 snaps for 72%, and Henderson had 19 snaps for 30%. They're just not really playing Henderson. I don't know why. I feel like he's a good pass catcher, so at least having him on third down would be better. But it seems Ramondre Stevenson is getting a lot more snaps and carries than he should. New York Giants, they just signed little Jordan Humphrey, and he comes off the bench in 53 snaps and 80%. He did have quite a few good catches on, was it Thursday night that they played?
Thursday, yeah.
So he did pretty good on that, but I don't know. That's just crazy to just sign somebody and be like, yeah, you're in. You play like most of the game. San Francisco, don't know what they're doing. Brian Robinson Jr., 5 snaps, 7%. I don't know. I feel like if you're trading for somebody, like they didn't give it that much, obviously, and then you have Christian McCaffrey, who's injured almost all the time. Like, I don't know why they just wouldn't put him in more, but whatever. Especially against Bucks' tough rush defense, but it is what it is. Tennessee, Tony Pollard had 26 snaps for 43%, while Tyjae Spears, who just came back from injury last week, had 36 snaps for 59%. So I guess they're going towards Tyjae for the receiving. They were playing from behind, but Tennessee's always going to play from behind this year, probably. And then also, randomly, Van Jefferson got 45 snaps for 74%. I think he was the leading receiver. I think Calvin Ridley got hurt, or they benched him because he only played 10 snaps. Not sure what happened, but to put Van Jefferson is kind of weird. They have Tyler Lockett, and they have the rookie Ayu Manor. So I don't know.
Guess we'll see what the interim coach can do.
Oh yeah, but that's probably a Brian Callahan thing.
The Titans fired their coach this morning on Monday, October 13th.
Yeah, so bye-bye, Brian Callahan. My friend, our friend, who's a huge Tennessee fan, loves that move. He texted me this morning. He's like, I'm so happy we got rid of him.
I feel like that's just been like rinse recycle for the last 10 years. Every time we talk to Hodges about the Titans, he's like, so glad we fired this guy or released this person.
Yeah. He said the same about Vrabel after a while. It took him a little bit of time, and he's like, yeah, I'm glad we got rid of him. Top 5 quarterbacks this week is Patrick Mahomes at 34.05, Drake May at 29.85, Jackson Dart at 25.55. Good for him. Jackson Dart's been on this list for like 3 weeks straight now, so he's showing out for Giants right now. Dak Prescott had 25.05 points, and Daniel Jones had 24.60 points. For running backs this week, we got Rico Dowdy with another huge game, 183 yards this week, 208 last week. He was at 31.90 points this week. And then Cam Scadaboo, this is like the second or third week in a row as well for him. Giants, I guess, are just killing it offensively. 30 points even this week. Josh Jacobs, 29.50 points this week. He's been pretty consistent all year. Devon A-Chain, pretty consistent all year. I think last week was the only like bad week that he had 10 rush, 17 yards. But this week he killed again, 29 points even. Jonathan Taylor, always on this list, super consistent, 21.70 points. For receivers, George Pickens, 27.30 points. Been killing it since CeeDee Lamb's been down. I'm wondering if when CeeDee Lamb comes back, he's going to take a back seat.
I'd assume, honestly, because CeeDee Lamb's just a better route runner. I'm sure he could get open. Plus, he's already had the previous connection with Dak.
Yeah, and Jake Ferguson gets at least like 7 or 8 receptions too underneath.
Yeah, if anything, both of them might drop, obviously, but yeah. I'd assume when CeeDee's healthy, George Pickens
will still do.
Yeah.
I mean, decent, maybe like a little bit, not no 27.30. Yeah. JSN was 26.20 points. I'm pretty sure he's been on this list every single week. Can't complain about that guy. Keyshawn Booty, like he said, 2 weeks in a row, he had 23.80 points. Jamar Chase on this list again, 20.40 points, so he's starting to get his rhythm in.
No tackles, though.
No tackles. I don't think he threw a pick this week. Ladrick McConkey, 19.50 points. He actually had an okay game. I think it was like 6 receptions, maybe 100 yards. Can't really remember. I'm pretty sure he went over
7 for 100.
Yeah, he went over the 100 mark. Tight ends, Dallas Goedert, 21.50. Once again, one of the frequent flyers on our top tight ends. Trey McBride as well, 17.20. Tyler Warren as well, 15.30. And then Sam Laporta had 14 flat. And then good for him, Michael Mayer, 13.50 this week. And then go ahead.
All right. So we'll just do my impressed and disappointed. Obviously, some of the most of the names in the impressed category is people we just discussed because they did really well. Their stats are great. So the first one, I'll just lead with Rico Dowell. He had 30 carries for 183 yards, 0 rushing touchdowns, but he also wasn't involved in the receiving game. He had 4 catches, 56 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Over the last 2 weeks as the starter for the Panthers, ever since Chuba went down, he's had... Oh, I'm sorry. I did not... Right. I thought I added it. So in week 5, last week when his first start, he had a total of 234 yards. And this week he had a total of 239 yards. It's pretty crazy. And both those games he's averaged 31 fantasy points. So seems like he could be in competition for running back 1. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, we kind of had the same situation with Chuba last year. Like, he was considered a decent fantasy player, but he really took the reins and took over last season. But I guess I feel bad for Jonathan Brooks out of everybody because he keeps getting pushed further and further down the step chart. Not even has he even had snaps yet?
I'm pretty sure he's still
played
injured.
A little bit. Yes, I mean, when's he not?
Yeah.
But yeah, so good for Rico. Like, he went from Dallas to, he was Tennessee last year, or would he go Dallas straight to Carolina?
He went Dallas straight to Carolina.
But he's showing out, and he's trying to be like one of these trendy quarterbacks that we're seeing where they lose their jobs and become starters and guaranteed they start producing every week. So good for him. My other one is Cam Scadaboo, which I will praise him, but I will give him it's not a negative knock, but because it looks cool. But his style of running, I don't think he's going to last too long. This guy tries to break his own neck. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he just averages like 3 concussions a year. But anyways, he had 19 carries for 98 yards, but he had 3 rushing touchdowns. Very important in fantasy, obviously. Kind of hurts me a little bit because last year I was a Tyrone Tracy guy because he was just a great receiving back and he could block, so I thought he would be in the lineup quite a bit. I know he was injured last week, but...
That's another rumored running back that I heard that Bears are going for.
Tracy?
Yeah, but apparently it's not Ryan Polis, the GM, who doesn't want to go for him. It's Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson doesn't want to trade for him. He says he wants to build through the draft, which is fine. But put him on guy more, please. Or just tell Swift to run straight. That's it. We'll see tonight.
Yeah, we'll see tonight.
I guess. Well, I'm going to post this tomorrow, so we'll see yesterday. Whatever.
But anyways, back to Cam Scatterbo. Well, like I said, he had a borderline of 100 yards rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns, a couple of catches, nothing crazy there. But he's obviously played his way into RB1 for the New York Giants. And the only other rusher close to him was actually Jackson Dart. I wrote it down somewhere. He had 13 rushes for 58 yards. I know most of those weren't designed, but he seems to be scrambling very well. And the Giants the last 2 years have really nailed their draft. Like, not only last year they have Malik Neighbors, but this year, like, they've had what's their defensive lineman?
Oh,
Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, and Cam Scatterbo. Yeah. They have a couple young offensive linemen. See what Theo Johnson can continue to be kind of relevant. So they got to...
Will Duvall be there for this trajectory?
Maybe. I know that's not a great answer.
Yeah.
I'd say yes. Just because even if the wins don't show up throughout the rest of the year, it seems like the energy and the vibes are good right now.
That's true.
Everybody seems like they're having fun.
That's true.
So I think they might give him another year. We'll see where he goes with Jackson Dart. Like, unlike Cam Ward, I don't like when rookie quarterbacks, the coaches go in for them and they draft them and then they just get fired.
Yeah.
It sets people back too much. So, I mean, I think
that was a Tennessee decision.
You experienced that last year with Caleb.
Yeah.
He had a coach and a regime that drafted him, and then...
I think it was the same thing. We were going to draft Caleb no matter what. And I feel like it was the same with Tennessee. They were going to get Cam Ward no matter what. Yeah. I don't think it was a coach's decision.
And then my last guy, I guess is a little bit of a homer since I was talking to him about him pretty positively over the offseason, but I did put Drake May. He was 18 for 26, 261, 3 touchdowns. I feel like this is his second year. He's been playing very well. Doesn't have the best weapons. We talked about earlier. They don't know what they're doing with their running backs. They're not starting the more talented one. But yeah, he seems to be connecting very well with. I keep thinking of Kendrick Bourne. Well, Butte. Oh yeah, when he was there, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had Kendrick Bourne on my brain because he was on New England.
Yeah, he had a good week this week.
Oh yeah, no, 2 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Him and Mac Jones. But anyways, back to Drake May. He has pretty good rapport with not only Stephon Diggs, but I keep thinking of Kendrick Bourne now. Keyshawn Butte. So those two, and Hunter Henry's been coming along very well with the young guy. He's actually 5th in the league in yards. He has 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the year, with a 73.2 completion percentage and 112.5 QB rating. So I know the first game, I believe he had quite a few turnovers, but ever since that week 1 game, I don't think he's had any. And he's been playing very consistent and kind of clutch. So good vibes for New England fans. You only had an 8-year bad drought. Get over it.
Yeah.
My disappointments. I guess I don't feel like this is fair because I never really thought he was that great anyways, but I did put Justin Fields on the list.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
He held on the ball too long, and you saw that.
I did write that.
Yeah.
Because he got set. I won't even go over his numbers too much. I didn't even put down what he has for this. Oh, actually, I did. But he was 9 for 17, 45 yards. That's not acceptable for college football.
Yeah.
You should not have 45 yards passing.
To make it worse, he had 7 rushes for 31 yards.
Yeah. Well, he had 9 sacks for minus 55 yards. But 45 yards, that shouldn't even happen in today's game. Maybe if it was a monsoon and you couldn't even throw the ball without it going straight up in the air or something like that. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not even for the year he's been too consistent. He hasn't had a turn or an interception, which is nice.
Yeah, he usually doesn't throw picks.
I don't know if it's
but he does hold the ball.
Well, yeah. He's been sacked 15 times on the year already. I don't know if it's just a Russell Wilson thing where he just doesn't want his career numbers to look terrible with the picks. But he just needs to make I wouldn't even say better decisions. Just make decisions. Like, just throw it.
That's fair.
Like this could be his last stint. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that after we've seen like Baker Mayfield and Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold and Mac Jones come up.
So, I like to see more of like these players take on Taysom Hill or Cordell Patterson.
Yeah,
like roles where they're like can be used in like every situation.
And maybe that's what Justin Fields needs to be. Yeah. Like maybe just a halfback or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel bad for him because it's probably what he wants to do, but he's just not.
Seems like a nice guy too.
Yeah, seems fine. He just seems like not getting it done, and it's not helping that the Jets aren't helping him out either. But he does have a couple of weapons, so I'll put more blame on him. So Justin Fields, you need to do better. You're going to be running the bench for the rest of the year. Career. My other person, which is I guess is the only star on my list for the disappointments this week, is Jahmyr Gibbs. Especially in a big time Sunday night game against the Chiefs. He had 17 rushes for only 65 yards and no touchdowns, and he had one catch. He needs to do better because it's not like Montgomery was stealing all those yards from him. What he had? He had four rushes.
24 yards.
24 yards, yeah. So just maybe Casey was obviously just trying to stop the run and make them lose to Jared Goff, and that did not happen. But
smart decision.
Yeah, smart decision. Actually, he had one catch for 0 yards.
If Goff beats you, it's whatever, but can't have Jahmyr Gibbs beat you.
Well, yeah, he is, to me, in my opinion, because I know as of now, today, like Jonathan Taylor's probably listed RB1. Well, before the season, I had Gibbs as my RB1. Needs to just compete, and it's weird that the Kansas City Chiefs not only outrushed the Lions, they kind of just manhandled them.
They did. Yeah, it was pretty solid Kansas City.
Yeah, so they need to do better. They have a pretty big game next Monday against the Bucs, so big bounce back game. The Bucs are injured. I think the Lions just need to. I know the Bucs corners are a little weaker, but they need to establish that run game back and just ram it down their throats. Just keep running and running until they're tired, and then you can throw it on them.
Yeah.
And then my last one, I did put Zay Flowers. His numbers weren't terrible. I know last week with the backup quarterback, which was Cooper Rush, he had 5 catches for 72 yards. This week, he had 6 catches for only 46 yards. But the biggest thing was he did have 2 fumbles, which basically kind of cost the Ravens the game.
It did.
One was, I don't think it was a reverse. I think it was just like a little screen pass to him, and then he just tried to cut upfield and just drop the ball.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because they probably would have scored on that drive.
And the other one, he just tried to do too much. Like he was trying to break tackles and just trying to do too much.
But he was kind of my iffy guy just because his quarterback's not there. But still, Zay Flowers, Lamar's gone. You got to step up and do better. Everybody holds Jamar Chase as a better receiver, but
your receiver one, he does need to
step up. So when the quarterback's down, the receiver one has to step up.
Yeah, for sure.
And my last thing, I just did the over-unders on the games tonight, which actually this one kind of lost 1 point. Earlier today, the Bills were favored by 4.5 points and then went down to 3.5. I know Atlanta's got the home field advantage. To me, that's pretty crazy. I don't think it's going to be that competitive. I don't think it's going to be a full blowout, but I think the Bills should win easily. So I picked the Bills to win, and I have them winning over 3.5 points. The later game is Chicago versus Washington. I do have Washington winning, but I did pick Chicago on the spread. The spread is Washington with 5.5 points. I think whoever has the ball, last drive with the ball, I think it's just going to win by field goal. I think it'll be a tie game going to that last possession.
As long as it's not another Hail Mary.
Yeah, so in that one I had Washington winning 23-20.
Got the score and everything.
Yes.
All right, so people killed it this week. Jacoby Brissett, give him some credit. First start of the season, 27 for 44. Why he threw it 44 times, I'm not sure. But 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Shout out to him. You talked about Drake May. Joe Flacco had a pretty good game, 29 or 45 for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's pretty great for a very old man behind a really weak offensive line going into his first start.
He just really wanted to beat the Packers twice.
Could be. And then Kamani Vidal, we talked about him. A-Chain talked about him. Derrick Henry had a pretty good game. 24 for 122, 1 reception, 8 yards, no touchdowns. He talked about Brian Thomas. We talked about Ladrick. Zay Jones had a big game. 5 receptions for 79 yards. Pretty good for Zay Jones right there. We talked about George Pickens and Keyshawn Moody. Van Jefferson actually had a pretty good game. 4 receptions, 75 yards. I guess since they had him on the field for 75% of the game, he got his. Michael Mayer, 5 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Also, Gatson, the second from the Chargers, the tight end, he had 7 receptions for 68 yards. He's putting together a pretty good streak now. I think that's like 3 weeks in a row where he has 5 or more receptions for a good amount of yards. Trey McBride, 8 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. And then Kendrick Bourne had a huge game, 5 receptions for 142 yards. That was pretty quiet too. And Van Jefferson and Zay Jones, I felt like didn't get enough attention this week. Those who did terrible this week, Justin Fields went over. Tua went 21 for 32, 205, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, and then 1 rush and 4 yards.
I was gonna say, even though the Jets haven't won a game, the Dolphins still look like the worst team.
That's pretty bad. Cooper Rush got benched. He only threw for 72 yards and he threw 1 pick. The Seahawks running backs collectively, 22 rushes, 58 yards, 0 touchdowns. 2 receptions, 16 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Patriots running backs as a collective, 22 rushes, 45 yards, and 1 reception for 9 yards. Travis Etienne, 12 rush for 27 yards, and then 4 receptions for 28.
He was originally on my list, but I ended up switching it with Zay Flowers.
That's fair. Javonte Williams did pretty good this whole year, 13 for 29, and this is a weird one, 5 receptions, 5 yards. 1 yard per reception. K-Dot numbers. Good job, Javonte. Calvin Ridley. Still not sure if he got hurt or not. You know?
I do not know.
And, 1 reception, 18 yards. And then Cortland Sutton, 1 reception, 17 yards. Saw him kind of arguing with Bo Nix on the sideline too, so hopefully he doesn't become a diva, but we'll see. Game's getting to you. Garrett Wilson, 3 receptions, 13 yards. Terrible. He dropped quite a few, actually, too. Same thing with the next guy, Devontae Adams. 4 receptions, 39 yards, but I've seen him drop at least 2 or 3 passes that should have been caught. He did get overthrown a few times, too, but he had his hands on something. And then finally, Michael Pittman, 2 receptions, 20 yards. Not so good. There wasn't too many tight ends that did bad this week, actually. The only 2 that I found that, were pretty consistent this year were Jawan Johnson, and he only had 2 receptions for 15 yards, and Hunter Henry, he only had 3 receptions for 27 yards. Other than that, tight end, it was a good tight end week, actually.
Yeah, one of the better ones of the year so far.
Yeah, and then I'm going to tell you all, but this is the only time I'm going to mention it because I don't want to jinx it, but tight end week is on October 26th, so 2 Sundays from now. Not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. So get your bets and everything in for those tight ends on that day. That's all we got for today. You'll see my reaction on Thursday after we win tonight. And then keeping lookout for our podcast on Saturday, in which I go over DK and Hard Rock, and then just go over that. I did pretty well this week. I think I did 2 parlays that were good, and then I also had 2 DK lineups that are pretty good, but that's normal for me and DK. I at least usually have 1 winning lineup. But keep in mind for that, and then pay attention to my nephew's podcast, the Tampa Twos. He's still running it. It looks like he just texted me not too long ago. Probably let me know that he posted another one. So,
or change the name.
Or change the name again. So keep out for that. Nice to talk to y'all. Let us know if you have any comments or want us to talk about anything. We'll talk about anything football related. We are starting a basketball draft. I don't know. We can talk about basketball too. But that's going to be this Friday. So let us know in the comments. Peace out, y'all.